Billions of dollars worth Indian defense deals with America now hang in the balance. Now come reports that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is sending National Security Advisor Ajit Doval along with Foreign Minister Jaishankar on back-to-back visits to Russia. Undoubtedly, talks will revolve around energy security and oil imports, while it also remains to be seen if India also officially begins negotiations for a Sukhoi 57th stealth fighter jet deal with Moscow. Having allegedly told Donald Trump India does not intend to buy the F-35 stealth fighter jet, now the question arises on Tejas and AMCA fighter jet engines, armed Sky Guardian or Predator drones, and the PATI maritime patrol aircraft Poseidon, to name a few. Trump tariff threats have complicated the growing India-US strategic defense partnership. Trump threatens 25% tariffs and a penalty on India for buying Russian oil. And he has now suggested additional tariffs on New Delhi. It seems Trump wants to find a new scapegoat after failing to stop the Russia-Ukraine war despite supplying American weapons. India issued a stern reply highlighting ongoing US trade with Russia and the double standards of the White House. At a time when US itself enjoyed trade worth $3.5 billion in 2024 with Russia, primarily importing fertilizers. The figure is actually $5.2 billion considering US uranium imports from Russia as well as palladium for its EV industry. This also at a time when Russian gas exports to Europe have been on the rise, while even NATO member Turkey continues to buy Russian crude, refine it and sell it to Western nations. If Trump can't even get the NATO house in order, then why target India? New Delhi is not impressed by the American hypocrisy, and it may have a direct impact on defense deals with the likes of Russia, France, Israel, and even Germany to benefit if India cancels orders with the United States. This year in February, Trump had himself offered the F-35 fighter jet to India.
We're also paving the way to ultimately provide India with the F-35.
He stated, quote, "Starting this year, we will be increasing military sales to India by many billions of dollars. We are also paving the way to ultimately provide India with the F-35 stealth fighters." Now a lot has changed since then. Sources on condition of anonymity informed NDTV that the Modi government is unlikely to buy additional defense equipment from the United States, and that includes any deal for the F-35 fighter jet. India won't be bullied nor arm twisted. However, the decision also reflects India's renewed focus to jointly manufacture defense equipment locally or domestically, thus virtually ruling out the F-35 as the United States is unlikely to agree to a full tech transfer. In fact, the government of India officially informed the Lok Sabha that no formal discussions or negotiations have taken place with the United States regarding the purchase of F-35. No concrete dialogue, no proposal has materialized, yet India has effectively ruled out any immediate defense procurements from America. Much will also depend on whether America fulfills its current defense obligations. Now, this includes fighter jet engine deliveries from GE Aerospace for India's Tejas Mark 1A and Tejas Mark 2 fighter jets. Strategic calculus now weighs heavily on long-term sovereignty and self-reliance over necessary acquisitions. Earlier this year, even US Vice President J.D. Vance urged India to consider acquiring the F-35 jets that would significantly enhance Indian Air Force's ability to secure the country's airspace. Referring to India as the US's only major defense partner, he added that India must buy more energy and defense equipment from the United States, the main focus of his strategic outreach. J.D. Vance stated, "We want your nation to buy more of our military equipment, which of course we believe is the best in class. American 5th generation F-35, for example, will enable the Indian Air Force to defend your airspace and protect your people," unquote. So what are the other key India-US defense deals in advanced stages of negotiations and potential deals which are now in jeopardy? Apart from the potential F-35, there remains significant US-India projects on the table, but now clouded by tariff-induced tensions. Let's start with the Boeing P-8I long-range maritime surveillance aircraft, or the Poseidon. It's vital for anti-submarine warfare and monitoring contested borders. 12 of these have already been procured. The 12 Boeing P-8 Poseidon have been deployed by the Indian Navy and are capable of long-range maritime patrol with ASW capabilities. Another contract to purchase 6 more of these aircraft is near finalization, following agreements between Modi and Trump earlier. Also used by the US Army, the Stryker combat vehicles manufactured by General Dynamics have been part of protracted discussions and negotiations between New Delhi and Washington for its co-production in India. Sources revealed to Reuters, quote, "The plan envisages that India will acquire a few hundred Strykers with a mounted anti-tank guided missile system and later co-produce them through a state-run firm," unquote. However, recent reports suggest that the Indian Army has rejected the Stryker after high-altitude trials in Ladakh. Discussions are also underway for co-production of the Javelin missile system in India, involving Bharat Dynamics Limited and US firms Raytheon and Lockheed Martin under long-term partnership agreements. The next in line is an agreement regarding the expansion of C-130J Super Hercules tactical airlifter project, involving the team-up of US defense major Lockheed Martin and India's Tata Advanced Systems Limited. The announcement made in 2024 was a significant step in enhancing India's defense and aerospace capabilities and came after Defense Minister Rajnath Singh's visit to the United States. Expanding the C-130J manufacturing and assembly in India to produce aircraft for the IAF's Medium Transport Aircraft or MTA program was part of this pact. For rotary wing platforms, the Indian Army was eyeing 11 additional Boeing Apache AH-64E attack helicopters. In fact, the US Army signed a contract with Tata Boeing Aerospace Limited in 2024 to manufacture fuselage for the Apache helicopters in India. And 90% of the Apache, known as one of the world's most lethal choppers, is indeed manufactured in India now. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force had plans to place additional orders for the Chinook heavy lift helicopter fleet. But now India may seek additional sources to acquire defense equipment worth billions of dollars from other global partners. Trump's tariff announcement disappointed India, given that the trade talks are still ongoing. Meanwhile, Donald Trump even played the Pakistan card against India at a time when that failed country has only about 350 million barrels of crude oil reserves, which is about 0.021% of the world's oil reserves, which is insignificant. Pakistan also recently got hammered by Indian Air Force and the Indian Army during Operation Sindoor and the Short War and surrendered not just on the battlefield, but Islamabad also surrendered its demand for Indus Water Treaty restoration, which remains in abeyance from India's side after the Pahalgam terror attack. On the 4th of August, US President Trump went on to defend the reciprocal tariffs imposed on dozens of trading partners, saying that he should have done this many years ago. He added, quote, "I'm not looking for leverage, I'm looking for fairness. We want to see reciprocal wherever we can and as much as possible," unquote. If fairness was an issue, then I'm sure India and US would have found a solution. Such mega trade deals take months, if not years, to finalize and are not rushed through over someone's whims and fancies. But by playing the Pakistan card, Trump is sure to alienate India, the world's 4th largest economy and one of the biggest consumer markets in the world. However, all is not lost yet. As per Bloomberg reports, India is considering raising its natural gas purchases from the US and increasing imports of communication equipment as well as gold, which may help ease tensions. Yet the report also confirmed that no defense purchases are being planned by India from America after Trump's trade rants and threats. But have your say. Can India trust America as a long-term and reliable defense ally? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.